Hello, my name is Brian Kim, and welcome to my autobiography film. This is the film that I'm super proud that I've made and get to share with people all across the world. As I record this, I'm 20 years old and I'm a sophomore at Texas Southern University in Houston, Texas. I'm currently, as we record, a sophomore studying special education and social work. I want to be a special educator and a social worker, hopefully at the same time, but we'll see how that goes out. I was born in Guam in October 29th, 2005, and I lived in Korea for a few years because my parents are Korean, so I'm basically Asian American, or Asian, however you want to view it. Growing up, I didn't really have the best of childhoods. I would always get bullied. I just didn't really feel safe, I guess, or comfortable around certain people. And I have two older sisters, and they're okay. We didn't have the best of relationships, but it was decent, I would say, I guess. And I remember I used to get spanked a lot and bullied at the same time, and then my parents would always be tracking my location, so that's kind of honestly always triggered me in a way. And so when I become a parent, I just know I do not want to hit my kids in any way. And yeah, it was just hard going through that with all the bullying that also went on. It just felt uncomfortable getting spanked and getting my phone looked at basically by my parents to see where I'm at a lot of my life, and it just gave me self-conscious thoughts whenever I was doing things. I also got bullied for my vision because I have Leber's congenital amaurosis, a pretty rare vision eyesight legal blindness where I have a detached retina, so I'm more sensitive to the light than the average human. But I did have surgery, so I could see much better, but it's still not great. But I'm very fortunate for the vision I do have, and that's something that I take a huge hold on. I also would get bullied for being into backpacks. I love collecting backpacks, and I never would got the chance to do so, but I'm really doing it now because my collection would always get thrown away when I was growing up. I'm also a huge sports fan. I love football, basketball, and baseball. I'm more of an NFL and an NBA fan, but I love the Rays, if you know me. They're my team. And then I'm a huge foodie. I just love food. I like trying new food. Whenever I get new food, I like taking pictures of it in case it's super good and I want to recommend it to other people, and they can share if they liked it with me with picture evidence and such. I'm also huge into faith. I love sharing the gospel. I just love talking about God with other people and hearing them open up about their testimonies. And it's just powerful to hear people talking about God. And I also love cars. Many people don't actually know about this about me, but I love cars. I love talking about cars. I love filming cars. I love cars. And cars are so cool to look at, even though if I can't drive. It's just so cool to film or sit in them and experience that feeling of touching the buttons and seeing what they do and such. I also love making content. I love making content of my testimony or just YouTube, Instagram, TikTok content. I haven't been doing it as much, but I want to do that in the future, going forward, because I love sharing my life experiences with other people, and hopefully it can help other people to a better place. I also love helping people, kind of mentioning that part of their mental health struggles that they may be going through. If someone's going through something, I'm always jumping to try and help someone who may be going through a very tough time. As someone that's almost attempted a few times, I know it's tough, but I'm always wanting to help other people so they don't get to that point of their life. So I'm super excited to share this documentary with everybody, as it encounters a lot of friendships, a lot of great friends and great people I've met over the years. Some people I met in high school, but I wasn't really close to them until we actually met in college. Some people I've known for years. Some people I've met recently but are making huge impact in my life. I am super excited to show you guys the pictures and audio and the videos of my interests, my passion, and just my drive. And I hope you guys enjoyed this film, as it's an autobiography, the one and only Brian Kim autobiography. There will be no part 2 to it. There will be no sequel. This has been a long time in the making, and I really hope you guys get to enjoy it and get to know me better. And I hope you let me know if you have any questions about my life, or if you need help or anything. I'm always here to talk, and I'll drop my socials in the description, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And enjoy it.
So who is Brian Kim? Brian Kim is such a wonderful friend. He is so gracious, and he is very kind, and he is so loving. Like, if you know him, then you know he's going to tell you I love you. He's going to send messages. He's going to ask you how you're doing, how's your day. Brian is such a good friend, and he does what he can to help. And I love how he's very honest, and he is very open to the possibilities of new things, new ideas, new experiences, and he loves to work with people, and I just love it. I love his personality. I love who he is. I truly appreciate his friendship and his honesty and his vulnerability with me. Not a lot of people in this generation are open to vulnerability and open to new friendships, but Brian, he is someone that is truly open and honest and is excited about relationships, and I love that about him. He's a great friend.
I met Brian my freshman year of high school. He was a junior at that time, but we didn't really get closer until my sophomore year. My favorite memory was going to prom with Brian and really seeing him open up and just dance and have so much fun. And for the rest of that year, we just continued to laugh and talk to each other over text. Brian has always been a sweet and dedicated friend, always checking up on people and telling them that he's always there for them. Overall, Brian is a great person.
Hey guys, my name is Kamara, and I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about how me and Brian met and how he has changed my life. So, me and Brian met at the airport on the way to a Christian conference, and he was kind of the first person that I latched on to and started talking to. And from there, we just became like best friends. We actually got baptized together and also became Christians together. So that was a very memorable moment for me. after coming from Florida, we just started talking to each other on a daily basis, checking in on each other. Whenever I need help with anything, Brian is there, and he's such a very supportive friend. I'm also in a lot of different groups with Brian, and he's an amazing mentor, advocate, friend, and leader. He's going to do great in his profession. He inspires me so much just to keep going, finish my schoolwork. He's just an amazing friend and just the total package in a friend.
I've known Brian Kim for about 3 years now, period. When I first met Brian while working up at Memorial High School, he just seemed sad and insecure and fearful, and there's lots of examples I could give that explain why I felt that about him. But I tried to share little bits of who Jesus is to me. And I remember so clearly him saying, "Miss Wells, you can't talk about that. You'll get in trouble." And I look back at that and think, wow, isn't that sweet how God can plant seeds and you just see the growth and the beauty blossom. And that's been Brian's story. He is a new creation in Christ. He has blossomed in so many ways, in confidence and joy and peace. It's pretty remarkable, and it's only by the grace of God that this has happened. And it's not a surprise to the Lord, but just makes my heart smile when I think about Brian's story and the impact that he'll have for others just by telling his story and testimony of the power that God's had over his life and over his mind. Just renewing of his mind has been remarkable. So that's just a little bit of Brian and my relationship with him. He's a sweet friend, and even though I'm a lot older, it's just been neat to know him and just watch that growth and that independence off in college making his way. So Brian, I'm so proud of you, and thanks for asking me to tell a little bit of your story and how we know each other. And yeah, here we are, and let's watch and see how God continues to work. It's going to be miraculous.
I met Brian Kim, or BK, his junior year of high school. He would often come and visit Mr. Sparks, and I would walk over there because Mr. Sparks is one of my work best friends, teacher best friends. And I would come and talk to him and end up meeting BK, and BK would often, get on Mr. Sparks about forgetting something, and we all started talking. And eventually, like every day, Mr. Sparks would walk BK to his car where his dad would be waiting. And so every day I would meet up with them, and we'd walk BK to the car, and we would talk and laugh. And it was so nice. So even when Mr. Sparks wasn't there or able to, I would walk BK to the car and make sure he'd get there safe and sound. But lo and behold, the next year, senior year, he enrolled in my class, my business law class. And he would stay on me about stuff to make sure that I remember. He was super caring. We were having car issues, and I'm a car person. And I would talk about the vehicles and issues and challenges that you often go through when you have your own car, which is super annoying, by the way. And he would be so helpful and ask questions, and he was so caring, making sure that I was okay, especially when the situation was happening. And of course, I would check on him and make sure that he was, enjoying his high school career and having a friend group that he could do things with, which is always rocking. And such an amazing kid, very sharp, a good sense of humor. You kind of have to have a good sense of humor with me. And just a really, worked hard and focused and tried beyond his best. He had his challenges, but we all do in life. And, we encouraged each other. And sometimes that's what you need to be successful.
Hey y'all, so my name is Ro, and Brian told me he was doing a project and he wanted a video explaining how his friends have met him. So I believe I met Brian on family night when Miss Chalet brought him. I remember seeing him around school, but we never spoke. But Miss Chalet brought him, and yeah, it was like my first time meeting Brian. He was very funny. He's so he's so like he makes these little jokes, and only like a certain type of person can really get it, and it's just so funny. It's honestly amazing to see how Brian has grown in his walk with Christ. It's very refreshing to see. All in all, I really do. I love seeing Brian on campus. I love saying, "Hey, Brian," even if he doesn't recognize me or if he forgets my name. But it's pretty cool. And one time we did evangelism together, and it was very nice. We had it on this girl, and he was so like informative. But yeah, it was pretty cool. I think Ryan is such a sweet person. He's very sweet, and he can really lighten the mood, like he can really lighten a mood. So yeah, Brian's pretty cool. I hope this helps.
My name is Charles Dent, and I am a program coordinator for TSU. And I want to talk a little bit about Brian Kim, and I call him AKA BK, AKA the ladies' man. I met Brian in my freshman seminar class. He came in, he was early, he was asking questions, very attentive, and at first I was like, okay, I need to make sure Brian cool, make sure he good, and he just like fits right in. Like he stands out actually more than he fits in, pretty much. You try to help him, but he already got everything rolling. He's very proactive, and I didn't know, but he's very funny as well too. Once I start to get to know him more and more, Brian has been a part of our trio program a little bit. After that, he started coming around more, coming to my office, asking questions. Creating a lot of friends on campus as well. Everybody knows BK now. He's becoming Mr. Popular, but he's been very great. He's been motivational for me, and also being able to make me a better professional and being patient, and also helping students like around campus more so. And he's one of the people that he's a prime example of a leader and a person that's going to be happy, positive, and love life. Thank you, Brian. Just for being a part of my life and meeting me and meeting you and giving me the time to have a good friendship with you. Be great. Go Tigers.
Hi, my name is Cassie, and I first met Brian in the fall of 2024 at Texas Southern University. When I first met him, he was very shy. He didn't really make eye contact. Like when you talked with him, he was very quiet. And actually the first time we talked with him, we were trying to do evangelism with him, me and my friend Jasmine, but then he said no. And so we were like, oh, okay. Which was fine. But it seemed like he was kind of lost, honestly, and just in need of friendship. And so we wanted to go talk with him and just kind of extend a hand for that reason. But he ended up getting connected to our campus ministry, Every Nation Campus, through another one of our students, Michelet. And so he just showed up at one of our campus ministers' houses that night like a few weeks later, maybe a week or two later. And we just got to know him, and he just got to hang out with us, and it was really cool. Like slowly he began opening up, and we just saw him come to life. Got to see him laugh and smile for the first time. And he ended up coming to our Every Nation campus conference, our national conference, with us that January 1st through the 3rd of 2025. And the first night of the conference, he ended up giving his life to Christ, and he got baptized on the 3rd day at the conference. And after coming back from the conference, I just saw so many amazing changes in Brian. I saw him confident for the first time. I saw him like raising his head to talk with people and to engage with people in ways that we'd never seen him do that before. There was just something different that was about him. He was filled with much more joy. He laughed so much more freely. And it's just been really, really amazing to get to know Brian and to see him grow in all of these ways, and to see him open up and to become comfortable and realize that he's in a safe environment where people love him and value him. And it's just really amazing to know him, to be able to see all of these changes and the growth that's happened in him. And just really, he's really a sweet guy. He is very caring, very thoughtful, and he is always making sure people are okay and taken care of. He's just very compassionate and kind and loving, and I love that I get to know him and be a part of his life in any way.
Hey Brian, I am very proud of you. You are amazing. Keep on being you, and you know I will always be here for you.
Hi, my name is Pat Manti. I was a teacher at Memorial High School for 22 years. I taught several different subjects, including government, economics, U.S. history, and European history. Brian was a student of mine last fall, this time a year ago, in one of my U.S. government classes. Brian is a delightful student. He's one of my favorite students. I enjoyed teaching him. I enjoyed getting to know him. He is one of those students that a teacher remembers long after she's left the classroom. He would come and talk to me about issues dealing with government. He would show a real interest in the subject matter, and we had numerous conversations about various issues of government. When he got ready to apply for college, we had other conversations on the subject of going to college. And I just felt like as a teacher, I had an opportunity to mentor him a little bit during his senior year. And it was a real pleasure for me. It was a real pleasure. I got to know him well, and I know that he was so excited to go to college, and I'm sure he is doing well in his endeavors.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. BK and his dad. I see his dad every day. I was listening in the car. I was trying to get BK to drive. Here, go to the system. Oh, look. Somebody decorated my desk. Look at this. Look. Look.
Yeah! Happy birthday!
How cool is that? That's neat. I didn't know this. This is exciting.
Put one of those hats on.
Look at this. Fine. Careful.
Put one of those hats on.
Huh? Put one of the hats on?
What'd you think?
I liked it.
You have to put the hat on for the whole day.
I'll put it right here.
No, you have to put it. No, you have to put it on.
I'll cover my sandwich up. Don't want to take the racks to get it. Well, how cool is that?
And I have another surprise for you.
What's that? A birthday card? Well, how nice is that?
I couldn't find Papa, so I gave you Olive Garden. I hope you like Olive Garden.
Oh man, that's so nice. You're too nice. You're too nice. You're my nicest student.
Hello, my name is Robert Sparks, and I teach business at Memorial High School. Brian Kim was one of my students, and I enjoyed every day with him. He was very courageous and a very fun-loving student. I talked every day with him about a great number of things, and I basically will miss him. I can't say that about many students. I walked him from my class to his father's car every day. When he graduated, I felt a loss for this student because he was such a great conversationalist and he was also a friend. I wish him the best and I miss him every day.
What up, BK?
Look what I have for you.
What do you got?
Cake,
A cake. A cake.
a card,
A cake and a card
and a knife.
and a knife. How cool is that? Tous los jours.
My name is Jalen Jasmine. I remember when I met Brian at the NC Family Night, and I didn't know him though, but I've heard of him a lot. So I introduced myself to him, and at that point, he looked at me like he didn't know me. Of course, he didn't. But ever since though, me and him became good friends. We made great connection with each other, and he's very funny, man. He's very chill. He's a man of God for sure, and he's a real friend also as well. So that's what's really great about him. He's a really great friend. It's like if he needs to tell you something that you need to hear, he will. So even though it's the truth that you may not, whether you like it or not, Brian would tell you the truth about that. And that's what real friends do. That's what real brothers do. So that's what I like about him. That's what I like about Brian, man. He's one of my brothers in Christ, so it's an honor to be, My name is Jordan Jasmine. I'm not exactly sure when I first met Brian, but if I have to guess, I first met him at family night, or I first met him at the Tiger Walk along with other members of the Bible community of ENC. Or I met him at Bible study with the Bible group as well. How Brian makes a good impact on your life, or how he changes your life for the better. He's the type of person that will always be there for you. He cares for you. He's funny. He's the type of person that you can talk to about anything. Doesn't matter what it is. It could be something that, that's anything in life. Whatever it is that you go through, you can talk to him about that. And he's the person that will be there for you, and he cares about you. He's a man of God. He believes in God, and I think that's the most important thing about Brian, is that he believes in the Lord and he has faith in the Lord.
Hey, bud. Hi. Say hi.
Hi.
Greetings, my name is Douglas Canales, and the way I met Brian, it was on a rainy day. It was a big rainy day, actually. I was walking to class, then I came to the student center. I saw Brian, he lost his ID, so I tried to help him. The shame of it, it was locked, so he couldn't get an ID that day. But that's how I met him. And then later on, we started talking more and talking more. We started to get along more. And then this semester, we got together again. Not again, because we've been homies since day one. But now he feels like a brother to me, like family. That's how he feels to me.
So, meeting Brian Kim has been one of the best moments of my life. He is sweet, he is kind, very intelligent. He looks out for his friends, he looks out for his classmates. He's helpful. He's very fun to be around. He makes everyone laugh in a way that makes you know that he's laughing with you but not at you. I love having him in class because he makes it a wonderful experience. I think that if anyone ever got a chance to have him as a student, that they are completely and utterly blessed.
This is Derek.
And Jasmine Williams.
So we're answering the question, how do we meet Brian? So I'll let you go first.
Yeah, I met Brian on campus. We do this survey called the God Test, asking people their opinion about God. I seen Brian around often, so I was like, let me just go ask him. So I went up to him and he said no. And then I was like, all right, well, you have a great day, and left him to himself. And then not even 3 days later, at my house, he showed up because we have an event at our house called Family Night, and Brian came to that because he was invited by another student, and he has never left since. And I think that's just a mark of who even Brian is if you win him and his trust and his love, he stays, and I appreciate that about him.
Yeah, so very similar. I've seen Brian on campus a whole bunch of times. I mean, we do ministry at HBCU, and anyone that's not black stands out. So I felt like God put it on my heart to do the God test with him. So I think I told Jasmine and Cassie, our friend, to do it with him, and then they told me that he said no. And then that Friday, like Jasmine was saying, he came to our house for family night, and was invited by one of our students, and he's been in our campus ministry community ever since. And when answering the second question, what impact has he made on our lives? It's just been dope to just have him around, have him be a part of our community, and also just see how he fits in, and honestly, just see how he cares for other people. I feel like that's one of his big gifts, of like just being able to care for other people well, and always be like thinking about someone, checking on someone, and really showing his care for someone. And I think that's really, really dope to see. So, yeah, just appreciative to have him in our community. And I feel like I've learned so much more about caring for people with vision impairment just through just knowing Brian, and trying to do our best to make sure he has what he needs too. So I've also learned a lot with him being in our community.
Yeah, we love you, Brian.
Yeah, love you.
And next we have Brian, who is also a student at TSU.
Good morning. So my journey begins as growing up. I was an atheist, wanting to learn more about God, but not really having that community. And so I was always really depressed, had anxious problems, and was always like not who I really wanted to be, and always in a down spot. I encountered Christ when I went to ENC Conference 2025. Shout out to conference. That first day, I remember walking around in the lobby, talking to students from ENC Houston and other cities, and asking what giving their life to Christ has looked like for them. And I remember Director Ernie Kruger asking students at our first day for students to come up if they're willing to give their life to Christ. And I remember the Holy Spirit telling me, hey, it's time to change your life. You should go up there. And I remember going up there and just feeling that overwhelming warmth of welcomeness and just amazingness. And so afterwards, I felt more confidence in myself, doing evangelism one-on-one, or just being confident sharing the gospel with other classmates or teammates on the football field, or just being myself and being who I desire to be grown up.
Thank you, Brian.
Hey everyone, this is Katie. I was asked to give a little backstory on how me and Brian met, or should I say Brian and I. And I believe it was 2024, fall semester. And I apparently didn't know, but apparently we shared a class. I think it was history. Can't remember exactly which one, but yeah, apparently we shared a class together, and we had a group meet for the class. And one day they were in there texting, and Brian was in there, like in the chat, and he was texting. And I don't exactly remember what the conversation was about, but they said someone had mentioned how he was blind. And I'm reading the messages, and I'm going through what everyone's saying, and I'm reading Brian's responses, and I'm just so confused because I'm like, I thought they just said he was blind, but he's responding. So I was really confused. And then someone let me know, like, later on, like, he was only partially blind. And so I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But basically, I responded to someone's message, and I was like, how was he responding in the chat if he can't see? And that was out of genuine curiosity. And, you know, some of them were laughing. I guess they thought I was being funny when I was genuinely curious. And I remember he messaged me separately, and I think in the chat he was saying something about, like, me being rude or mean, something of that sort. And how he was already having a hard time with some of the stuff he had going on in his personal life. Which, again, I wouldn't be aware of if I don't know you personally, or, you know, you didn't make me aware. But he texted me personally, and he ended up apologizing later because I guess he was telling a lot of people that, like, I was a bad person or I was mean. And people actually was asking me about it, like, before I even knew anything about him saying something about me to other people. I remember this girl was in my house from a roommate I had, and she mentioned it, and I guess they were sending my picture around, and she was looking at it, and she was like, oh my gosh, you're that person. I was like, OMG, it wasn't even like that. But he ended up apologizing for it, And, I made him aware that it was genuine curiosity and, more so a misunderstanding. I didn't take it personal. And we ended up being involved at the same church. And today we are pretty good church friends. And anytime I get to help Brian, I am always honored to. And he's very kind. He's so great with reaching out to people, checking on them. So Brian is all in all good with me, guys, and I appreciate my experience with him. Thank you.
My name is Zanaya, and I'm one of Brian's friends.
Hi, my name is Shai. I go to the University of Houston, and I'm one of Brian's friends.
Hi, my name is Ifam Hunter. I am majoring in sport management kinesiology, and I want to take a time to talk about my good friend Brian. When I first met Brian, it was a family night, Michelin bar in hand, for the first time. When I first met him, I just wanted to get to know him, just get to know him, see what he likes to do for like his free time, because is doing whenever it's free, every time night time. I also like that also how we just connected since like we went to ENC conference. He gave life to Christ. It's nice to see how his life has changed. Obviously, it's nice to be with him in the ENC Every Nation campus. To just seeing me getting to know him all. Also nice that I went through him to the one-to-one, and also seeing him just having a little sense of humor. And also just spreading the gospel to people on campus, that people that don't have campus. And it's also nice for him to like bring out his friends that also to church, to friends that wants to also come to his friends that wants to come to a family night just to spend time with us and just get to know him. So yeah, it's nice getting to know Brian, and and that's all I gotta say. Thank you.
Hey, my name is Jaleisha. I'm one of Brian's friends, and the way that he impacted me was being there when I need somebody to talk to and give advice about anything that's going on in my life.
Hi, my name is Naima. I'm one of Brian's friends. Brian and I met when we were picking him up for family night with ENC, and we've just been friends ever since. Brian is a very kind and sweet, genuine person. He's definitely a good person to talk to and just a good person all around. And yeah.
Hi, my name is Silver, and you're one of my friends, Brian. I've seen Brian a lot on campus. Brian is very social. He is very a social person, and he's just been everywhere. And as much as I've seen him everywhere, there was a time where I just actually wanted to just meet him. But, sometimes Brian forgets. Yes, you forget. Like, I was like, okay, wow, I'm just gonna have to sit down and talk to him in a better day so he can actually know who I am. It was a time that I've never ever got to do that, except for the time that I've seen you talking about Jesus Christ with, I believe, another one of your friends. I don't know exactly who she was, but it was just spreading the message, and I was really interested to hear what you had to say about it. And from there, you were you were so very actually very you had so much courage to even say that, because I know that a lot of people don't even want to really do that or be willing or even just be willing to do that. So I guess from there, I've seen you a lot more. And whenever I had the chance to say hey or stop by, I would. And you are very like, you have no filter. And that's a good thing, you know. Sometimes people, they like to sugarcoat things. And you weren't the type of person to really sugarcoat any of that. If you felt a certain way, you would say exactly how it's supposed to be said. And I love that about you. I really do. I keep doing that because a lot of people in this world, they tend to do that, and we can't even see or feel or know the real authentic them. But as for you, you weren't afraid to do that, especially even with me and how I sometimes am too, because even I am like that a lot, really. So from there, I was really surprised that you were like that and how open you were. So I was like, yeah, he's definitely a cool guy, 100%. You were really cool, my guy. He's you've done and what you're doing, and how you share your message, how you share your feelings on the gram sometimes, and a lot of other things where, can conspire your feelings, but honestly, I don't think it should ever get to you the way it's supposed to at all. Like, I don't think you should ever get affected by anything that anybody has said to you in a way that was just, even when you have family problems, even sometimes I have family problems, but I'm trying to really am working my way into being the light in my family. As long as I'm able to do me and continue to be the person that God wants me to be, then it's gonna definitely influence the people around me. And that's the one thing that I really stand for, like 100%. And I want you to do the same thing. I don't want you to get affected by anything that anybody has said to you, even if from the past or present. I know that we're humans and we have emotions and we feel like we have to care so much, but we really don't when God is the only person you should really care about anything that you're saying. And it took me a minute for me to really understand that, but I hope you do too. You're a really great person, and I hope to continue to see you grow in your future and see what you do with your life, honestly. Like, I'm always there to support.
What's up, y'all? My name is Jabriel Howard, but people usually call me Jay. Brian and I met during the beginning of the first semester of my freshman year at Texas Southern University, which only happens to be a couple months ago. Although it was early in the year, I would see Brian around campus a lot, and because of the type of person that I am, I decided to talk to him when we happened to be coming into the cap at the same time. We had a great first interaction. It wasn't for too long because he was ready to eat, I was ready to eat, he was with somebody, and I was with my people. But after a cool conversation, we exchanged contact information. After that, Brian and I have had many conversations about a few different things. Something that I can say about Brian is that he is such a sweet friend, but an even sweeter person. Although he goes through his own struggles, his own hardships, he's always encouraging others and putting his best foot forward. He's always checking up, giving words of encouragement, and every time we see each other, it's always a great time had. He has a great sense of humor, and it seems like he's a level-headed guy. Brian is a really good friend, and I love you, bro.
Hello, my name is Tommy, and I currently attend the University of South Florida. To start things off, I've known Brian for quite a while now, starting back when I was either senior in high school, maybe a freshman in college. It's been so long, I kind of forget. One thing that might seem a little bit odd or random is we actually met through Instagram. Uh, One thing that we both shared in common was the love for the Tampa Bay Rays. And we would talk about our love for the game and any trade talks or even how good or bad the games would be. And somehow this talking with Brian back and forth turned to just more than baseball, though. Brian and I became pretty good friends. And despite long distances, me being in a completely different state, eventually those baseball talks turned into us sharing our own personal challenges in life, and we would help lift each other up. When he needed me, I would listen, and Brian would do the same for me. So Brian's impact on my life has been more than just a baseball buddy, but a true friend who is there for me whenever I need them. Thank you, Brian.
Hey, lovely people. My name is Jasmine. I'm Jasmine Barker. I met Brian through GroupMe, and it says HBCUs United. At the time, I went to NCAT. But Brian, he's very helpful. He checks up on me. We don't know each other for real. I don't really text him much, but when we do text, we're always laughing, or he's always checking up on me, or he's making sure that I just know important facts, not just about me or about him, but just about the world, mental health or just any school related things. He's a very helpful guy. I haven't met him in person yet, but one of those, just because the way he is, just the way Brian is, I would definitely like to meet him in person, because everybody you see, or everybody, well, not everybody, but the people you know, or the people that know him, I always he's a cheery guy, and I just love people like that, and I would love to be around him more. So one of these days I do, and I would like to meet Brian in person, but Brian is just a very helpful guy. He definitely wants to encourage everybody, because he encourages me, because life is not really easy, but he definitely knows that, and he just wants everybody to succeed. He doesn't even need to know you to want you to succeed. So, yeah, we love Brian. I love Brian. He's very helpful. Excuse my voice, you guys, because my voice is just done for. But love you, Brian, and thank you for being my friend, even though you don't even know me. But I would like to get to know you more.
My name is Lainey, and I go to Louisiana Tech, and I met Brian when I was at a low point, and he reached out to me when I made a post on Yik Yak, of all places. I was just feeling really lonely and really down, and Brian let me know that I wasn't alone, and he told me about his story, and it really impacted me deeply. And I'm really glad I met him. He's a really good guy.
Hello, my name is Abhinav. I go to the University of Massachusetts Amherst, and you really helped me one night when I was depressed and couldn't sleep. And I've gone through a lot this year. Something really traumatic happened to me a few months ago, and I also am having a hard time making friends. So it's really nice to know that there are good people out there like you who I can talk to and be friends with, and who make me feel not alone.
Hi, my name is Makai Morgan, and I attend Delta State University. I'm one of Brian's friends, and I really appreciate him because he's a very genuine person, and he always is the type of person that I will always come to if I feel like I'm feeling a certain type of way, because he will always be genuine and tell me how he really feels about the situation. And he's a very positive person. And without Brian, I don't know, I'll probably be a sad individual. But get you a person like Brian, because he's a very great friend.
I'm Elise Egger. I go to Oklahoma State University. My major is animal science. And I knew Brian in middle school. We weren't really friends, but I knew of him. We had some classes together, and we went to different high schools. And just recently, we're both in college now, of course, I posted something on Yik Yak, and he responded in my comments, and we were talking back and forth, and eventually one of us, I can't remember who, texted in the DMs, and I found out that he was from Houston, and I found out who he was, and I was like, I remember you. And I gave him my number, and we talked about getting food together since we were back home. And yeah, it just goes to show how small of a world it is, I guess.
Okay. Where is it? Can you get it? There you go. Oh.
What?
There we go. There we go. Here you go.
Brady.
Happy birthday to you. Woo. Happy birthday to
And hit the
you.
stress balls.
Where is it? Oh, thank you so much. Oh. Happy birthday, dear Brady. There you go.
Oh, thank you so much.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Hi, this is Miss Brady, and I was one of Brian's teachers for the past 3 years. We had him as a student at my high school, and during this time, he consistently impressed all of his teachers with his dedication and hard work. He always had a positive attitude. He never let anything get him down, and he was involved with a lot of clubs, with student council, and contributed a lot to all of our school endeavors. We wish him the best with his continued education. Great job, Brian.
Hello, my name is Tracy Mullins. I had the pleasure of being Brian Kim's co-teacher when he was an 11th grade student here in Memorial High School. His tenacity, his sense of humor, his willingness to not let his physical impairment keep him from doing anything. I've never met a student who worked really hard at advocating for himself and not taking himself so seriously that it made other people uncomfortable around him. He was just an easygoing, great kid. He was one of the students that really shed light on the kind of students that we have here at Memorial High School. I only knew Brian for a couple of years. I didn't have him his senior year. I wasn't a co-teacher of his, but if I saw him in passing, we always had our little jokes. I was his co-teacher, particularly for a chemistry class, and it was funny because I am definitely not a science person. My background is mostly reading and English, so it was a challenge for me to support the students in chemistry, but we had a lot of memorable moments. And so there's one particular time I think I was administering a test, and I guess I was just so overwhelmed with the vocabulary. So even simple words, I made it to be something that they weren't. So I think the word was determined, but I said determinate or something, and we fell out. He was like, Miss Mullins, that's just determined. I said, oh my gosh, I'm just done. But just moments like that, we really we hit it off initially, and he's just a great student. I enjoyed having him. I wish him all the best in life, and I'm grateful for this opportunity, just to share a little bit about him. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Missouri, J.J. Bonnet of Meadowwood, Patrick Fernandez of Nottingham, and Reese Walford of Hamel Creek.
Go, Brian!
Brian Kim.
Uh-oh, be careful.
So, Brian Kim, or as he and so many others like to call him, BK. A real friend, to be honest. One that I'm not even sure I think I deserve at some point in time. Or at least I think I did at some point. One of the greatest is one of the greatest, well, in general. Oh, caring, smart, funny, and overall pushes through obstacles in his life, even every day, and rises above the expectations. Honestly, I'm just glad to know someone like that. Someone I can look up to in certain moments and wish to be like. Someone who can rise is above everything and that life throws at him. Honestly, one of the greatest moments I've had in my life. Just knowing him. So, here's the PK. Or maybe he basketball king. From that one game he managed to watch back in high school. Seriously though. I was classmates with him in science class for about one in school year. But hey, it's certainly one worth remembering. Here's to you, BK. Keep moving forward. Because that's where the future lies. And as far as I know, that future is a bright one.
Hey, I'm Lane. So, if I can remember, me and Brian met just like being on campus, and I know we had that bio class together, so we were able to, we were in the same group me, and we would see each other around campus. I definitely feel that your impact on my life has made me to know a little bit more about people who may be, blind, and that there are different types of blindness. And I also feel like you've also helped me to understand that everybody should be treated the same. Yes, you may have, eye condition, but you're still human. Nobody deserves to be bullied. Nobody deserves to be looked at any less. And they should be able to live life as normal as they want. And I also feel like you've also impacted me in the way to really realize that, you can create your own space. You can have your own, hobbies and things that you're passionate about. And just being authentically you, especially on this campus, I feel like it's filled with a lot of culture, and being able to find your space within that culture is also important. And I think that you've done that. You've met people who may have not been for you. You've met people who are for you, and it's helped you to grow on this campus and show that anybody, really can fit in where they truly belong.
Hi.
Hi, my name is Bree.
I'm Maya.
Hello.
We know
We're
who
in
this
class
is.
with Brian.
Hey, I'm Alana, and I'm one of Brian's friends.
Hi, my name is Noel, and I am one of Brian's friends. And we met actually through side chat. And it's the funniest thing because I was just scrolling on there as I normally do. And normally I troll on the app a little bit, maybe post a couple things that are important. But other than that, I just kind of scroll through the app. And I ended up seeing his post. Now, after going back and reading it after our conversation, I seen that it had his name in it, but I didn't know it was him. So when we were chatting, I was just genuinely talking to him as if I would talk to anybody else. You know what I'm saying? But I had seen Brian around before on campus, like beforehand when I had first got to school and whatnot. But hopefully you can edit this part out. Sorry. Sorry. I'm losing my train of thought. Yeah. So we ended up meeting on side chat, and we talked about, what to do with family and whatnot, and how to, tell them you're growing up. And we ended up exchanging social media outside of side chat. And I was like, oh my gosh. And so we exchanged numbers and stuff, talked, and he told me about his life story and basically where he came from, how he got to where he is today. And it's amazing, the resilience and strength that he really does hold. Like, seriously. I'm glad that we're friends. He's very great with keeping up with you and checking in on you, and that's somebody you would want in your corner. He's funny. He's super nice. Is willing to help any and everybody, and that's exactly how I always have been. And that's how you know you got God putting the right people in your life. So I'm very appreciative to have Brian in my life, and anyone else that doesn't know him and gets to know him would most likely say the same thing.
Hi, my name is Bianca, and I'm one of Brian's friends.
Me and Bianca actually met sometimes in high school, but not much because she spent her freshman year actually at MHS. But we didn't really reunite until I walked into Douglas's class one day and I recognized her. I'm like, wait, I've seen her at MHS. And I just love how small this world can be and how connected we can be with other people.
The way you've impacted my life is you have motivated me to want to come to school and actually go to class and learn, and you've made it easier for me to talk to people. I've always struggled with making new friends, but ever since I started talking to you more and talking to Doug more, you guys have made me realize that this is kind of hard for me. You guys have made it easier for me to really put myself out there and make new friends and talk to new people, and I really appreciate you for that. I've always had trouble going to class and actually waking up in the morning and having motivation to go to school, but you've made it easier for me, and I really like hanging out with you. So it's been easier to get up in the mornings, get ready, and actually show up and apply myself.
Hi, I'm Tristan.
Hello.
And I just met him today.
Hi, my name is Isani, and I'm friends with Brian.
Hi, my name is Katori, and I'm friends with Brian.
Man, how y'all doing, man? Man, how y'all doing, man? It's Isaiah. I'm Brian's roommate, straight across. Honestly, it's grounding, bro. It's grounding to see Brian be able to wake up and show up the same motivation, same person every day. It's a very blessing to have him as a roommate because not only do he push himself every day, he pushes me as well. Every time I see Brian, he's always looking to do better. He's always staying disciplined. He's always getting tasks done. He's always doing what he needs to do in the world. And that's something that pushes me. And honestly, Brian is just somebody who I look up to by walking with faith. And that's something that I've been trying to do with my spiritual journey with myself. And just connecting with Brian, having him as a roommate has been helping me mentally, spiritually, physically, it's just grateful. I feel like that's a blessing by God to have him as my roommate. That's all.
Hello everyone, my name is Natalie Sowers. I'm a senior chemistry major here at Texas Southern University, and I'll be graduating December 5th, 2025. Getting to know Brian was such an amazing experience. As a pal, I did meet Brian as a member of another group. He was actually a part of White Group, but he did reach out to me on Instagram. And from there, it's just been so amazing to get to know such a selfless person who has such a love for bags. One thing I noticed about Brian was that even though he faced certain things in life, he was very resilient. He always used his faith to make sure that that was helping him get through things. And I feel like that's very important as a senior because many people feel like there's nothing that people that are younger than them can offer. But Brian has showed me that even though in the face of turmoil, we need to be able to pick ourselves up and rely on our Christ when we have no other way to rely on, when we have no one else to rely on. And I feel like that's very important because we as grown adults need to also build up our rapport and our support systems, and God will always be number one. Getting to know Brian has also been so great because he is always selfless and he always greets me and lets me know and that I'm doing okay and that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing and that he does feel supported by me. And so as a campus pal, that really does make me happy because not many people in campus pals give you that type of feedback. Not many of your freshmen will give you this type of feedback, and it's very beautiful to be able to have that reassurance as you go about your day-to-day life, and just know that what you're doing as you come to school outside of classes is going to have a benefit on somebody. And so I really enjoy that. Although Brian was never truly my actual part of my actual color group, he was always going to be family and a part of my TSU family. I always made sure to let Brian know that he can always reach out to me if he needed help, and that even though I'm graduating, I'll still be here to talk. And I feel like that's very important to leave when you're a campus pal. That's such a legacy to leave with a student that's currently attending the school. Sometimes it can be very scary to build up relationships with others and then realize like in a few months you're about to lose a connection, but it's not even that. It's never going to be that. I'll always be here for Brian, and I'll always be here for my other pals as well. Brian, I wish you so much success as you carry out the last few years of your Texas Southern chapter. Understand that every day won't be easy, but it will definitely be worth getting up every day. And it's going to shape you into the person that you truly admire to see and who your younger self was just dreaming to be. I got the pleasure to talk with Brian and my friend at school today, and it really opened my eyes to how people view you around campus. And a lot of them were saying how I knew everybody, but the truth is Brian knows everybody. And I feel like getting involved in campus, especially in trio programs and getting involved in your academic programs, getting involved with your support system on campus, getting involved with your department is just so important. And I've been watching Brian do that slowly but surely as he's been here. And that's the most important step you could ever take at a school. Life may happen, but you'll always have that support system and those people that you built up, that circle that you built up to talk to you. This is going to be a finite circle of people who want to see you succeed. And so this is going to be a very great backbone to rely on. And so, Brian, never forget this. Everyone that you've met here at TSU loves you.
Hey, I'm Taylor. I met Brian my fall semester of junior year through a mutual professor that we both share and have a good bond with. Since I've met Brian, he's been an amazing, kind, loving person. He has the sweetest soul I've ever met. Anytime I'm down, a message from him just lets me know that I have someone supporting me, someone who wants to help, and someone who loves to see me thrive, and I love to see him thrive as well. Brian's never been a bad person, a bad friend, or has done anything to me. He's honestly the sweetest person I've ever met, and I really do pray that one day all of his blessings come back to him. And the first time we met, he also bought me Chick-fil-A.
Hi, Brian. This is Alicia, and I just want to say you have impacted my life in a great way. You're supportive, and you're always wanting to help. I love speaking with you in person because you're very down to earth and chill. Your presence in my life has been wonderful, and I wish nothing but the best for you.
Hi, I am Chanel Williams, and Brian, I met him through City Life. He was at Jasmine and Derek's house one day, and he became friends with Shy, which Shy is one of my friends, and then through Shy, I was able to connect with Brian more and get to talk to him and get to know him. Brian is such a sweet person, has a wonderful, beautiful soul, and he has made a strong impact on my life, just seeing his faith, just seeing the things that he has been through, his testimony, and how strong on his faith he is, how he loves Jesus and believes in him. That has really inspired me through my walk with Christ. And so, yeah, I just want to say Brian is an amazing person, and I just pray that he continues to grow.
Hey, my name is Crystal, and I am one of Brian's friends. I met Brian in ENC, which is Everyday Shit Campus, a campus ministry group at Texas Southern University. Honestly, our first couple of interactions, they were very nice, short, simple, and sweet, but over time I grew to know Brian, and he's just one of the sweetest people on earth. He's very passionate about Christ and his friends and TSU. He's very friendly and open to everyone, and he just wants the best out of life, honestly.
So my first interactions with Brian weren't actually in person. for some context, I was and still am involved in a campus ministry, but at the time that Brian had come to know some of the people in the campus ministry and gotten involved, I was taking on a new role, and I was in preparation for that role in ways that had me more behind the scenes and not really interacting with new students at the time. But I was still going to the conference that was coming in January, and Brian was also going to be going to that conference, and everyone who was going to that conference in preparation had been placed in a group chat. So I think Brian had gotten my number from there, and he had started texting me and just texting me about some of his interests and things like that. And then it was at that conference that I actually first met Brian. I'd heard a few things about him, but I'd actually first met him at that conference. And it was a beautiful thing for me to see. I had heard part of his story, but to actually see some of it in action, just some of the things he had experienced growing up, his blindness, even being a Korean at an historically Black university, and just how that informed his story, growing up atheist, things like that. Yet to see in the midst of all that, God calling him to our community, and then through that calling him to himself, and even seeing, just in the little time I even knew him before that, just changing, in going from someone who was not interested in God, anything having to do with him, and then going to someone who is eager to evangelize and draw people to Christ and lead small groups and things like that. It's been inspirational to see his growth, and it's challenged me even in believing that God can do and move in people in ways beyond my expectations and understandings. Because sometimes it's like I do minister, and it's like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do. But in all honesty, sometimes when you get enough no's, it can be easy to not expect results. But to have seen Brian go from a no to a yes just shows God's intention in his life, and it encourages me to keep going out fishing, believing that God will bring about yeses even from that which was once a no. And I think it's beautiful to see that Brian himself, who was once a no, is not only became a yes, but is also involved in the process of drawing others to that yes. So that has been inspirational for me to see and witness, and I look forward to seeing how he'll grow in even greater ways in the future.
Okay, my name is Faye. We met, I believe, on Instagram, but I see you around campus a lot of time. I would say how you impacted me is you have such a nice personality and you always like go out of your way to check on others and make sure other people are having an amazing day. And you just seem so eager to have new friends and find new friends and just be a good impact on this world. And I really appreciate you, Brian. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Alana and I'm Brian's friend.
Hey, my name is Michaela Dees. I graduated from Texas Southern University and I am one of Brian's friends.
Hi, my name is Sonia. I'm one of Brian's friends.
Hello, my name is Kenitra Stallings, and I am Brian's friend. We met on Group Me chat for TSU and actually physically seen each other a few weeks ago in the library. The major impact that he has had is his positivity. He's always fostering a positive attitude, and I am very much appreciative of that. Through my recent loss in my family, losses, I would say more than one in my family, he has offered nothing but encouraging and inspiring words, and I hope that I am also able to provide that to him, being an older student and him being, adapting into the environment that he's in. I wish nothing but the best and keep striving forward, Brian. I am so proud of you. Have a good Thanksgiving.
Hi, my name is Brooklyn. I'm Brian's friend.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. I don't know if I need to say my name, but I'm just going to say it. Hi, I'm Zaya Williams. Um, I met Brian at City Life Church, and ever since we started talking, like just became the best of friends. He's made the biggest impact on my life, because I think he's really helped me in my patience. Like, I think seeing someone as patient as he is, he's very calm. He's very steady, and I would say steadfast, like in the way he moves. It means like he moves at the will of the Lord, but he also moves at the pace of the Lord would want us to move as humans, and it's very beautiful to see. Um, so yeah, I love Brian so much. He's an amazing friend. You know, as Christ loved us, I love him. All right, yay.
Hey y'all, it's Nala. I'm Brian's friend.
Hello, my name is Elle, and I just wanted to say that Brian is truly an amazing person. When I first met Brian, I wasn't necessarily in a dark place, but life was life at the time, and I remember being in Fairchild trying to get some help, and Brian came up to me and just sparked a random conversation out of nowhere. Like, and at this point, I had never seen him before in my life either. So it was simple though. I'm not gonna lie, I was having a bad day, but I wasn't rude to him, and that conversation was actually what I needed because it changed my whole perspective on life. After hearing a little bit of his testimony in that moment, it just really stuck with me. After that day though, life just went on. I didn't see Brian for a minute, but every now and then I would see him come across my Instagram and he just tell me, how much I'm influencing or inspiring him. And I was just like, you know what? No, I appreciate it. But you inspire me. If I'm being honest, despite everything and anything that Brian may have going on, regardless if that's with school or finances or physically or mentally, whatever it may be, like he manages to still walk around these hallways at TSU with his head held high, with a smile on his face, and a sense of gratefulness that just shines through, and it creates a personality that is just enjoyable to be around. And now that I'm much more mature, because this was like a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, and I've just grown in so many areas and have matured. And as I think back to that moment, Or even when Brian texts me throughout the day sometimes, like, his testimony is still playing a role in my life, and it's incredibly inspiring. It's helped me in my own journey. It is helping me in my own journey and my own walk with Christ, and just knowing that, and knowing that I have a friend like him, and knowing that I am evolving into the woman that I'm meant to be. You know, Brian is a heck of a person, if you ask me. And if you think otherwise, you lame. But he just has a heck of a personality, and he's just overall a great and loving person, and truly a joy to be around. And I thank God for him. I also want to say how much I admire your faith in Christ. You don't just talk about it, you portray it. You know, the way you treat people, the way you love, the way you live, and the way you carry yourself. So, Brian, I thank you for being you and never stop being you, no matter what anybody says or what anybody thinks. As long as you keep trusting God and keeping your eyes on him, everything else will fall into place. Okay? It's going to fall into place, I promise. So, keep being great, all right?
Hey Brian, this is Keith. This is my audio to just quickly surmise, who you are as a person to me. All right, Brian. So this is the audio for your documentary. Just want to let you know that before I started. So, for starters, Brian, you are a kindred spirit. You are definitely someone I would like to say is a trooper. Um, no matter what hardships that you've endured, right? No matter what God allowed you to go through, you didn't let the things that negatively impact you, you didn't let them, how can I say this? You didn't let them bring you down. Rather, you stood back up and you kept fighting the good fight. You kept the faith and you persevered every time, and you are a living testimony um, of what many people are capable of when they just let go and let God, when they look at Christ for everything and not just look at and rely on themselves. Instead of you taking the wheel, you gave the wheel to Jesus, and through that faith, you've been able to make it this far, and you are capable of doing so much more later on. That is my view on you. That's what I think about you, and you are an inspiration to me every time I see you, whether it be in person or online.
Hello, my name is Alan Scott. I attend Texas Southern University, RTF major, but let's get to the chase. So, I remember the time when I went to freshman orientation where I met a whole bunch of other freshmen, but I was technically a sophomore when I came, but freshman mentally. And everyone else, I don't know, it was hard to talk to everybody because either they already knew each other or they weren't social at all. And me, I guess I wasn't that much social, but I tried to be, so I asked everyone, oh, what's their name, their major, what they like, because I'm trying to make friends. And Brian, I would say he was the first friend I've made when I started school. And Brian's pretty cool, and like, even though right now we haven't ran into each other that often, because I don't know, our different schedules, but we tend to meet up in a hallway, you say, hey, what's up, acknowledge each other, because he is my friend, and I'm his friend too. And I even remember the time where he was pulling all the girls, and I kept telling Brian, hey, say something for me, or put in a good word. Of course he never did it, but that's okay, I got a girlfriend now, so it worked out. I think he's dating, I don't know, but yeah. But honestly, I can say Brian is a good friend, an amazing person who probably has, had a few more challenges and obstacles than most people, but he's pushing through, and I highly respect that for him. So Brian, where it is that you want to do in life, keep going. You have my support, TSU support, so I don't know. If you need anything or down to hang out or anything, just let me know.
My name is Aliana, and I'm one of Brian's friends.
I
kind of seen Brian around campus for a while, and it kind of like admires me that he was like he didn't really like need help. He was making it to class. He was handling his business while also like being nice to everyone that was around him. It was on the day of his birthday. We had to do lip sync battle, and everybody was in the student center. And I seen him out the window, and I knew it was a little chilly outside. So I had went outside to say hi. I've been wanting to say hi for a while, but I was kind of scared. I didn't want to frighten him. I didn't want to be like the weird stranger that like walked up to someone and was like, "Hi, you're my friend now." But I pulled all the courage that I had to like go speak to him. He was very very nice. He it was because it was his birthday. Like he offered me a cookie, and ever since then, like he's been a really good friend to me. The things he's opened my eyes to like seeing the world bigger than what it is, and to be able to appreciate the small things. And I'm glad that I met him. I really am glad that I was able to meet him.
Hello, my name is Sydney Elwood. I'm 22 and I go to Houston Christian University, and I've known Brian for about a year now. I want to say the impact that he has made on my life is just his encouragement and just his kindness to me. I feel like a lot of times, like, we may think like we want a person to hear a certain thing, or we want a person to know a certain thing, and he's like one of the few people I know who will literally take time out of his day to just go up and tell you and let you know that you're doing a great job, or that your story matters, or just reminding you your worth in Christ. So that's how he's impacted me.
Okay, so my name is Leah Herx, and I am a friend of Brian's. I just wanted to say that he's an amazing person and basically a light in my life, honestly. Such amazing, awesome person. So we first met by me seeing a message in one of the group meets for our English class. And it was basically, looking for friends and stuff like that. And I was like, you know what? I'll see. So I messaged him on group me, and then we started to become friends. And then we met in English class, and we've been cool ever since. But honestly, he's mean so much in my life, and I'm so happy I met him. He's such a positive, hardworking person, and I really admire that. So I hope he continues to be great, and that I just wanted to let him know personally that he's loved, he's cared for, and that he's very awesome and capable, and he can do anything that he puts his mind to. So I just want to thank him for the opportunity for me to share this message, and I'm really happy that he's in my life.
It's Asia and
Hello.
Brian. Please say your name. Hi, I'm Ayanna Washington.
Hi, I'm Antoinette Lee.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Cornelia Bedford, and I'm a cashier at TSU. And I met Brian because one day I noticed he wasn't talking, and he was always happy every time I seen him. But that day he wasn't talking, and I asked him what was wrong with him. That's how I found out his name and his disability with being partially blind, which I think he's a strong person because he's still going to college. And I love him to death. That's my brother. I just try to do everything that I can for him. And guess what? Happy birthday again, Brian.
We met one day on the Tiger Walk. I saw one of my friends, Imani, and
I was speaking to her, she was with you, and I was just asking you guys questions because it was both you guys' first year at Texas Southern, and I wanted to know just information about you all. And we just spoke a little bit. It was a nice, simple, funny conversation, and that was it.
Hi, this is Whitney, Brian's friend. I first met Brian when I think around August. I met him. I don't really remember how we started talking, but I just know we kind of bonded over our similar eye condition. He has detached retina, and I have a condition I don't really feel comfortable naming right now, but my eyesight is terrible. Okay, so yeah, we met, we bonded over the fact that we both cannot see, and when we started talking, I kind of realized that we both had similar, like we had a lot of things in common. We had a lot of similarities and stuff, and that's how we kind of bonded with one another. He's very sweet, very kind, always offering to do things, always trying to help me out. Like, I didn't know that certain accommodations I could have due to my eye condition, and he was the first one to kind of let me know that that I could have those kind of things. And he's so nice and so kind. I remember I was going on a rant by Candy Cone. I was going on a rant by Candy Cone, and literally he offered to buy me candy cone. Like, it's that was so sweet, and I do appreciate it. I really do. So literally, but yeah, I love Brian. He's an amazing friend. He's an amazing person, and sorry, I have a cough, and I appreciate everything about him.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Tiara. Brian's my friend. He's a very good friend. We haven't known each other for long, but he's been a very good friend. He's a very good listener. He's just all around a good person, and he deserves all the love in the world. And that's really all I have to say. Yeah, it's Tiara again, and Brian is a really good friend. And I hope y'all support his movie that he's coming out with. Peace.
Hi.
Hi, my name is Bree.
I'm Maya.
Hello.
We know who this is. With Brian.
Hi, my name is Lily, and I am one of Brian's friends.
You gotta do a pose, Brian. Do a pose. All right.
Hi, I'm Jasmine.
Hi, my name is Kaylee, and I'm an intern at Mid Cities for ENC in Midland, Texas. And I met Brian on a mission trip at the university in San Marcos. Some girls from my church and I had the opportunity to evangelize around the campus with him, and that experience left a lasting impact on me. Watching him share the gospel with so much joy, confidence, and genuine love for people was incredibly inspiring. He brought so much encouragement everywhere we went, and it was clear that his faith wasn't dependent on his circumstances, but deeply rooted in his trust in God. And also hearing his testimony really changed my perspective. It challenged me to be more grateful for my life and more intentional in how I live out my faith. He reminded me on what it looked like to walk in joy and purpose, even when life hadn't been easy. And I'm truly grateful God brought us together and for the friendship that came from that trip. Brian has impacted me more than I could have ever imagined, and I'm grateful for the way he lives out the gospel so boldly.
Hi, my name is Jericho, and I'm going to be telling you how I met Brian. I met Brian at a church trip where we preach the gospel to these students during their college hours. And I met him at a house where we meet together as a group. And I introduced my name, and he introduces his name. And so we talk, and then we watch the football game. And his favorite subject is football. He loves football. His favorite team is the Houston Texans. I'm a Detroit Lions fan. And so the way how he impacted my life is he's just a humble, kind person, very compassionate when you talk to him. He's a loving person. He loves to hug. He loves to interact with people. And I love people that like to interact, like to be friends, and knowing that you can be friends forever. Even if they're far away, you can still talk to them. And it's just awesome.
BK, Unk, you know, we got a lot of little names. We haven't known each other for that long. I just met you this year, but from the moment you made that group chat, I knew you were cool as hell, and I was like, I want to be friends with him, and that's exactly what happened. And it happened so natural, and you've just been great ever since I know you. You have like such a kind heart and kind spirit, and I see that, and you're a great friend to me, so I just want to make sure I'm there for you. And yeah, you deserve all the love in the world, genuinely. And yeah, I hope we just continue to grow as friends. And happy birthday.
Yeah! I'll go next. Brian, I'm really grateful to have the opportunity to know you. I remember first time I met you, it was so funny. I was pulling up and you're like, anyone go to Foodie Fest? I was like, you know what? I love food. Sure. You see me, you know. I love food. And we ended up going together and it was awesome. I remember picking you up and talking about your life story and a lot of stuff that's happened to you. And I remember just feeling a connection right away. And I've been so grateful to be able to have meetings with you every week. And you're definitely one of the most genuine people I've met. And that's one of the things I even admire in you, and I wish I was more like that. In your true, like, you don't even care if people see you. And honestly, I'm so paralyzed by the way people see me, perception, that it inspires me in a lot of ways. So I'm really appreciative of you, and even just meeting with you is growing me in so many ways. So love you, man.
Yeah. I'll go next. Brian, I'm really glad that I met you. As everyone else has said, you just have such like a kind soul. I love how you have like such a full and like loud laugh, and like those laughs, no, like it's such a good thing. Like I love the way that you experience like joy, and like that just makes me so happy. Like just hearing you laugh makes me laugh, like because like that's just the way that you are. Like you just spread like joy and positivity like that. Like it, like the whole room just catches it. And I really appreciate that about you. And I'm really glad that we met and that we get to hang out.
I will go next. Well, starting off, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I actually love the fact that you're just able to have so much communion with a diverse friend group. I feel like you are able to relate and just talk to anyone, which is one thing that I do admire about you because I don't have that quality myself. I'm working on it. I'm getting there. I just want to thank you for being a good friend to me, always reaching out to me as I always reach out to you, liking my posts back and forth. Just the support is there, and I do appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go. So, hey, Brian, happy birthday. I'm really glad to be here with y'all, even if just for a couple minutes. But I, like everyone said, I really love your personality. You are very funny and goofy and sassy. Like you always give me a good little laugh and put me in my place sometimes. And you know, Lay says hi. You know, she went away for her little trip or whatever. So it's always fun when me, you, and Lay get to hang and see you around. And I'm glad we both stay at Icon now, so like I can bump into you more. But I hope it's a great year, a great next year, and many more. And I hope that you continue to use your story and your experiences to like reach out to other people and just share your kindness with other people. Yeah.
All right, Brian, I'm good. I remember when we first met, you said to me, like, aren't you uncomfortable? Because let's be real, we can be a minority sometimes in Houston, being a little white. And you came up to me. I remember it took me off guard. It's like, wow, you like. I really actually appreciated your openness and vulnerability, which actually takes a lot of courage to like voice these thoughts that sometimes you feel and like, and you kind of shove away.
Yeah.
And that's really carried forward into how I've seen you grow and develop, and how you've plunged like feet first, head first, into this community. And with all you've been through, you're very inspiring, honestly. You inspire me often with your growth, and I'm really excited with what God's doing in your life and what He will continue to do.
Yeah.
I can end it off. So, Brian, I feel like, man, when I think about Brian, I think about, man, this guy really cares for people well.
Yeah.
You will go out of your way to pick up groceries for Kennedy. Literally check in and see, hey, how did that thing go? Or you mentioned this, how can I be praying for you? So overall, bro, you just really care for people really well. And that's something that's needed. Because, I mean, just in this day and age, there's not a lot of people that care for people genuinely.
Yeah.
And seeing that is a breath of fresh air, especially being so young. I feel like a lot of times it's like older people that kind of like get that that kindness and that compassion. But you have it at a young age. So I'm excited to see how it'll grow. But yeah, I feel cared for by you. I feel like everybody here feels cared for by you. And we love you for it. So, yeah.
I would have said something, but I don't know, Brian.
Yeah.
I can say something, but because I'm really the true unk in here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, my name is Jerry, by the way. I don't know if you remember that. Don't have to remember. Just call me Jay. Reagan's told me so much about you. And she said that you talk a lot. I talk a lot. So next time I come back to Houston, we can talk. I have a story. You have a story. You know, I'm also a poet, so we can put those together. Can put it together. But yeah, man. Based off what I'm seeing right now, everybody seems to love you. So, and loving is what we need. So I love you. I just feel that kindness is key. Standing on your word is key, and being you as an individual. Nobody can take that away from you. Like, you are who you are. So if anybody, just understand, nobody can be Brian. You're Brian. No matter how hard I try, or anybody else, I can't walk like, nobody can perfect you but you. Yeah. And that's unique. That's something that you should glorify. Something that you can really wake up in the morning and say, like, I'm Brian.
Yeah.
My name is Malachi, and I'm a kicker on the Texas Southern football team. And when I first met Brian, was at football practice actually, and kind of just noticed him watching practice, and went to go say hi to him, and we talked a little bit about, I believe it was baseball. I think it was about the Rays. He told me his favorite team was the Rays, and I thought that was quite interesting. And when I told him I was a Mariners fan, he actually made some jokes with me about that. It was a good laugh though, and he's a pretty cool guy to talk to. But yeah, I know that he lives with disability, and he faces obstacles every day with that. But when I first met him, I wouldn't be able to tell you that he has a disability because he's such a good person to talk to, and he showed such a great spirit, and he was just such a great person talking. Yeah, I noticed that he wouldn't, when he talked to other players, everybody would just have a better mood. Everybody would just have a smile on their face at talking to him. And yeah, I mean, Brian is just a great person to talk to if you have any problems. If he has any problems, he'll talk to you, and he's very understanding. Yeah, and then also he's a very, very strong person, especially with his faith. He believes very much, and very admirable. And yeah, he's very inspirational, I would say. And yeah, he's a good person.
I want to once again thank everybody who contributed to this movie, whether that was the video, an audio message, or just a simple photo, because a photo can also speak so much to me, as a photo has 1,000 words, and just having a simple photo with you also just means so much to me. Even to the people who did not want to be in it, you mean a lot to me being in my life, because some of you may not feel comfortable sharing, but I love talking to all of y'all, whether that's classmates, instructors, or my close friends that are in this or not in this. And getting to know people, like there's this one friend that I've gotten to know more and more as we go, and I learned they're huge into sports. And I didn't know they were huge into sports until me and this friend started talking. And we were like, we want to go to sports events together because we love sports. And I didn't know about it until we started talking. And that's when I started really realizing it. But I really can't thank the people who contributed to this movie enough. As you know, I've been working on this for over a year. And it just means so much to have a lot of y'all's contributions talking about me, how I've inspired you, or just what I've been like to be your friend, or just mentioning that you're my friend, because sometimes that's all we need. And it just means so much to me how you guys were willing to help out. I've been through a lot in my life, as many of you guys know. I said in the introduction, but having these type of friendships is so memorable to me, and I'm so honored to have these friends in my life, the friends I do have in my life, and I cannot thank you guys enough for contributing or just being in my life in general, from instructors being in this, to my campus ministers, to classmates, to my close friends. It just means so much to me. It really touches my heart how much you guys were wanting to be a part of this project. My social medias will be on the last slide. You can follow them if you want, but if not, that is okay too. But I really hope you guys enjoyed getting to know who I am, the things that I'm into, and my small little sports career that I had, and just getting to know who Brian Kim is. And that's all I can really ask for in this. And I know this was a long watch, but I appreciate you guys watching this through the whole thing if you did. Even if it's for a minute, even if it's for your own part, I appreciate you watching. I really do appreciate it so much. And I am so honored you guys are in my life. And I'll never take that for granted. And I'm so honored to have your presence in my life. And getting to know each one of you has been amazing. And I'm excited to share this as I go about my life. Because I know I'm strong. I know other people are strong. And we are all strong together. And this movie just encompasses how strong people can be. So I appreciate each one of you for watching this. And I'm publishing this around the holidays. So happy holidays to everybody. If you're watching this on a normal, regular old day, I hope you have a blessed day. And I hope you enjoyed everything from this movie. And go enjoy your day. Thank you so much for watching. And my social media is in the next slide. Thank you so much.